Hi everyone. The next concept is creating multi-level inheritance. Okay, so before this video, we just completed inheritance. What is inheritance, and types of inheritance and all. So recall once again what is inheritance. Inheritance is nothing but the process of creating a new class from the existing class, or else you can define like this also. So a class acquires the properties of another existing class is called as a inheritance. Okay, so we have a five types of inheritance: single, multi-level, multiple, hierarchical, as well as hybrid. Okay, so one of the inheritance type is multi-level. So what is multi-level inheritance? The process of creating another subclass from already created subclass. Okay, so if you see the diagram, so A is a class, so B is a subclass to A. Now we are trying to create another class of C from B, which is already a subclass of A. So this kind of this kind of inheritance is called as a multi-level inheritance. Okay. In general life, so how this multi-level inheritance is exist means, so A is just like a grandfather, and B is less like a father, where C is just like a you. Okay, so granddaughter or grandson. So the kind of a real time environment existing is there for the multi-level inheritance. Okay. When it comes to the example program for the multi-level inheritance, we'll go with the three classes. One is car, and a kind of cars are Maruti and Maruti 800. Okay, we can extend the Maruti as well as a Maruti 800 from the car. Okay, so for presenting inheritance, what is the keyword we have? Extends. Okay, so with the multi-level with this example, we explain the multi-level inheritance. Okay. So here, class is defined with the name car. So class car. In that car class, what are the methods we have? Public car and public void vehicle type. Okay, two methods are there. One is a constructor, and the second one is a normal method. So vehicle type is car, it is showing a message like this. Okay, now class Maruti extends car. Okay, so this car is a like a grandparent class, and Maruti is a parent class Maruti extends car. So in this we have a three methods. One is a constructor, the second one is the brand, the third one is the speed. So related messages we are try to display. Okay, so anything you can display, but so here some like for closeness, here this is a car, here this is this is class car, and this is class Maruti, and here the brand in method we are displaying Maruti, and the speed of Maruti is 90 kilometer per hour. Okay, maximum speed. Okay, and the next one, Maruti 800. So Maruti 800 so is extending Maruti. So car is a super class, and Maruti is a subclass for the car. Why? Because we are presenting inheritance here. Okay, and now Maruti 800 is trying to extend the car Maruti. So which is a actually subclass of car, and now it act like a base class for the Maruti 800. Okay, here also we have a three methods. So one is a Maruti 800. So this model is a Maruti 800, and the next one speed. So this speed is nothing. This model speed is 800 kilometer per hour. Okay, so we defined three classes totally. So one is car, one is Maruti, and one is a Maruti 800, whereas Maruti extends the car as well as Maruti 800 extends the Maruti. Okay, so we are trying to fulfill this diagram. Okay, so A class is extended by B and B class is extended by C. So that is actually multi-level inheritance, where subclasses are able to access the content of the what is there in the superclasses data. It may be variables or methods, whatever. Okay, so whatever is there in the A, that can be accessible by C, whatever there in the B, that can be accessible by C. Okay, so actually A, whatever there in the A can be accessible by B, what is there in B, B can be accessible by C. So in the transitive kind of a relationship, whatever in the A can also be accessible by C. That is happening here. Okay, here to execute any Java program, we need a method called public static void main string arguments. Okay, compulsory method. So if it is without inheritance, we can create an object for every class to access the data. But when it comes to the inheritance, so so creating a message for subclass is enough. Okay, so when we create a object for the Maruti 800, okay, so object new Maruti 800, so we can call methods of Maruti as well as car into this particular class by using Maruti 800 object. Okay, so vehicle type, so where is actually a vehicle type? Here it is a method of car. Okay, and see brand is a method of here. So we are trying to access the car method as well as the Maruti methods into the Maruti 800 class by using Maruti 800's object. Okay, and obj.speed. Okay, here we have a speed and here also have a speed. So when we call obj.speed, what is which method is actually invoking? Okay, so we already completed the super keyword. If you here you can use a super, then so immediate parent class methods will invoke, but we are not using any super concept here. Okay, we are directly calling object.speed. So it is already here in the Maruti 800 class. That's why we are trying to invoke this method only. If you use a super now, okay, so then only super then you can try to call the method of immediate parent class. Okay, so you just now here you are trying to call only a method of Maruti 800. So vehicle type is is a method of a car, brand is a method of Maruti, and speed is a method of Maruti 800. Okay, so we are not using super here, which means we are actually calling the method of Maruti 800 only. If you use a super, you are actually trying to call a speed method of Maruti. Okay, so why? Because both having the same name. Okay, so that's why we are using super in the previous cases. Okay, but we are here calling only Maruti 800 method. Okay, so now I hope you understand. So what is a multi-level inheritance? How we can represent it in the real world? Okay, so when we execute, so vehicle type. So it will defines the vehicle type car. Okay, and when it comes to the what is happening here, vehicle type. Okay, vehicle type car. Okay, so if you see, observe the output. So when we call a vehicle type, what is the output in the vehicle type? Vehicle type is car. When we call the brand is Maruti. When we call the speed is nothing but maximum 800 kilometers. Okay, that is good. But if you see here, what we did here, Maruti 800 obj equal to new Maruti 800. What is it? Actually, we are creating an object. We are creating an object with a constructor. Okay, if we don't have any constructor here, then what is happening? Then we can, the method which is invoked by the object, then that can only be called. Okay, but here we have a constructor. Okay, whenever we create an object and when we run the program, so this object creation Maruti 800 will go and call this one. Okay, so when we discussed about a super keyword, there you find super keyword is implicitly defined in the constructors. Okay, so if you see the super keyword video, then you are able to understand why we have this kind of output. Okay, so while creating an object, we are invoking the constructor. Maruti 800 constructor is invoked. In this constructor, the first statement, here we don't specify super like that. Okay, but implicitly the super is calling here. So for invoking the immediate parent class constructor inbuilt, so by default inbuilt it is there, so no need to specify as a separate statement. Okay, so in the public Maruti 800, the first statement inbuilt defined as super. Okay, super means immediate parent class constructor. What is immediate parent class constructor? Maruti, immediate parent. So it Maruti 800 has another grandparent also, like a class car, but immediate parent is Maruti. So that super calls the Maruti's constructor, that is here class Maruti. In the same way, it will calls the inbuiltly, here we have a super definition, so it will calls the immediate parent class constructor. So the execution start from here: class car, class Maruti, and Maruti model 800. Then we'll go with the vehicle type, brand, speed. Okay, so to understand why we are getting an output like this, you have to understand the super keyword concept. Okay, so by here creation of object is nothing but invoking of constructor. If there is no constructor, then we will go on execution of only methods. If constructor is there, so go on first it will invoke the constructor. So here we are using inheritance, means invoking, before invoking the subclass constructor, it will invoke the parent class constructor. Okay, so from here to here, so like this execution is happening. So that's why we are getting this kind of output. Okay, that's all.